Let's face it, we are creative beings, designed to imagine and create from the moment we arrive to this world. But somewhere along our lives, we are told to stop dreaming, stop building or tearing things apart, to face reality and get a real paying job, and we lose our creativity. We go from thinking we could be the first astronaut on Mars to feeling stuck in the hamster wheel, and end up feeling burnt out, unproductive, and unmotivated. But creativity is key to our success and happiness. You see, if we were made in the image and likeness of a creator, we are born to create. Creative thinking has led to unique designs that inspire, inventions that help improve our lives, and it can change your life. Your creative energy is waiting to be unleashed. So whether or not you're feeling stuck in an unmotivated rut, you're feeling burnt out or unproductive, or you just need some inspiration for your creative projects, I hope that this video will be helpful for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and help support my channel. But if not, by all means, give it a thumbs down. But please give me some feedback in the comments so that I know what to work on. All right, let's get started. Number 1 is to limit media consumption. The first and foremost thing that I have to say before trying any of the other tips is to stop that dopamine spike through media consumption. Take a social media fast. Stop using your phone or scrolling through Instagram the first thing you do in the morning. Do yourself a favor and stop watching the news. My husband and I recently took a trip to Gatlinburg, Tennessee to celebrate our anniversary, and the hotel there had the news on every single morning at the breakfast area. We haven't had a TV in years, but it was a great reminder of why we do not miss it. Because how is being reminded that there is evil in the world supposed to encourage and uplift my mood? Or how am I supposed to feel creative and motivated when the news, or just media in general, is constantly reminding me of all the things that could go wrong, all the people that are doing it better than me, or that I should just plain lose hope in humanity because humans are evil? Stop watching the news, limit all media as much as possible, and make sure that the media that you are consuming is positive in nature. This will make it so that everything else that I mentioned in this video will be much more effective in helping you spark your creativity. Number 2 is to write down 10 ideas daily. I started to do this about 2 years ago, inspired by the author James Altucher, who writes in his book, Choose Yourself, the way you get good ideas is to do 2 things. 1, read 2 hours a day. 2, write 10 ideas a day. By the end of the year, you will have read for almost 1,000 hours and write down 3,600 ideas. One of these will be a home run. When I first began to implement this, I admit in the beginning it was not only difficult, but it felt kind of silly. And it was actually something that would take me a while. I'd sit there and I'd think, oh, I don't know, ideas about what? And it took me a while to actually start thinking of ideas. But I found that the more I did it every single day, the more ideas I had. And then pretty soon, it not only meant that I had the 10 ideas per day, I had more ideas. The ideas can be something really simple, like change that light bulb in the bathroom that you've been meaning to do but you've been procrastinating on. Or it can be something big, like for me, doing a live stream someday or having a podcast. If those ideas don't actually come to fruition, what you're doing by writing them down is giving those ideas a place to land so that you can actually act towards them and possibly achieve them. Doing this consistently has definitely changed my life. Number 2 is also one that I really love, is morning pages. And this one is inspired by the author Julia Cameron. I've read several of her books. She is amazing, but I highly recommend The Artist's Way because she allowed me to think of creativity as something that is necessary rather than something that I need to just push aside because I need to be an adult and get things done. But the concept of morning pages is kind of like a brain dump. The first thing that you do in the morning is get out a pen and paper or a notebook or journal, whatever it is that you want to write on, and just write down whatever comes to mind without worrying about grammar or what your writing looks like. You're just going to write down anything that's on your mind. And the point of this is really to bring to the surface anything that's been bothering you and expand upon it, or expand upon ideas that you've had, or just to let go of random thoughts and start your day off with a blank slate. I think of it as like a shower for your brain. This allows you to sift through your thoughts so that you can be more focused and more creative throughout the day. And personally for me, I have done this with things that kind of bother me without going into ruminating, because that can also be another thing in and of its own, because it allows me an opportunity to really ask myself deeper questions of why did this thing bother me? What does this say about me? And really expand upon that and not only understand the other person, but understand myself. So it can also be really healing while also having that extra benefit that it really can improve your creativity greatly. Number 3 is both simple and powerful, and that is to do one thing differently each day. What I mean here is that if you always go to the same restaurant, order the same food, sit at the same desk, talk with the same people, brush your teeth with the same hand, do things differently. Force yourself to sit at a different spot than you're usually used to. Go through a different route than you're usually used to. Or explore a different part of that menu that you've never tried. The point of this is to fire neural connections and get yourself out of that autopilot mode that you've been stuck in. This allows you the opportunity to bring yourself to the present because it's out of the norm. Your brain is now paying attention because this is not what it's used to doing. And just doing these simple things differently will allow you to take ownership of your day. Number 4 is to try a new hobby or learn a new skill. This could be something like taking dance lessons, taking a cake decorating class, or even something that can be completely free, like having a friend teach you how to use construction tools or learning a new language. As you gain more experiences and learn new skills, not only will you boost your creative energy, but it will also help you improve your confidence. And this alone will go a long way towards increasing your motivation. Number 5 is immensely important, and that is to read books or listen to audiobooks. I did mention that you should limit media consumption as much as possible, but one of my favorite things to do on idle time, which is that time when you're doing something mindlessly, like washing the dishes for example, is to listen to audiobooks. This allows me a time to focus on learning and processing new information. I have several videos on the topic of reading and its importance, which I can link down below, but what I have found that works best for me is to use audiobooks when I'm doing things that don't really require much thought, like cleaning the house for example, and then reading a physical book before going to bed. Some people prefer to read in the morning, and that's perfectly fine too. Just find what works best for you. But in any case, reading is like gold when it comes to developing life-changing habits and boosting creative thinking. Number 6 is to spend time with positive or inspiring people. If you're like me from a few years back and your conversations looked like this, hey, so I got this great idea of starting a YouTube channel. Why would you do that? You know, growing a YouTube channel is so hard these days. It is so saturated. And you don't even have social media. How is it gonna grow? And you're just basically gonna be working for free for years. I wouldn't bother. If every time you think of a new idea or decide to try something different, the people around you only bring up the negative points, it may be time to get some more positive influences. Number 7 is to watch your health. I recently shared with you my experience with the keto diet, but eliminate sugars and processed foods from your diet. Okay, I know what you may be thinking. What the heck does my diet have to do with creative thinking? Everything. The food that you eat directly impacts your hormone balance, your mood, your physical energy, your sleep, your health in general. If you physically feel crappy, it's gonna be pretty darn hard to do mundane tasks, let alone creative projects. So prioritize your health. This is a must. Number 8, don't be so serious. Make time to play and laugh. Science has shown that the physiological effect of smiling actually makes us happy through the release of endorphins, happy hormones. They reduce stress, can boost your mood, and can in turn help you access that creative power within you. I love the quote by James Altucher in his book, Reinvent Yourself. Today I will try again, and tomorrow, and then the next day. If I don't get better, I will at least have fun trying. And what else is there in life but to play as much as possible? Number 9 is one of my absolute favorites, is to spend time in nature. If you live in a very populated city, you will know that people are often in a rush, aggressive drivers are never in shortage, and the atmosphere is just go, go, go. My husband and I personally love hiking and being out in nature, and we actually crave it when we've been in the city a little more than we would like, because nature is just healing. We get so used to reacting to buzzes and beeps and lights all day long that we become desensitized to our surroundings, and we lose the ability to be still, be present, and be in the moment. To really take things in, like seeing a butterfly on a bush, a squirrel passing by, or feeling how small we are on this huge earth when we see a beautiful landscape. Spending some time in nature will no doubt help you slow down the pace so that you can focus on living rather than doing. And lastly, number 10, travel. Even remotely. Traveling doesn't have to mean that you have to pack up a suitcase and go across the country. It can be as simple as a weekend road trip to visit nearby states, or taking the afternoon to visit a town that you haven't explored. Whatever the case may be, return to your childlike self again and find the explorer within you. That's it for today's video. I hope that you found it helpful, and please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on all things living a simpler, happier, healthier life. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye.